Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This is for a game called GreedFall. Actually quite interesting. Um, it's... I've started a playthrough of my own just to see what was actually any good. Because a lot of new games is... I mean, we all know how it is. There's usually a bit of hype and everything for it, but... Hype that comes with the promotion, the actual game, aren't usually at times two different things. So, but I'm really pleased to say that this is one of those games that I tried it for a few hours, and for all you gamers out there that are watching, you'll understand when I say that we all know how much we enjoy a game, especially a new one, when you want to try it for the first few hours and suddenly you don't want to stop playing. And that's what's happened with this one. I've been playing this game for the on and off for a better part of a week. It's actually really interesting. There's some elements and features that I've noticed that are very similar with mechanics from other games I've played. So I'll certainly be explaining that. So and it's not set, you can probably tell in the background there's not all the sailing ships. It is set in that sort of era, but not in the way you might think, which you'll discover. It's an open world game, but only to an extent. It's also very much a heavily orientated RPG game. There is a fair amount of combat in it, but a lot of this combat is you just have to get used to it. There is a certain amount of customization, in terms of, equipment and weapons and all that sort of stuff you can use. So, but I'll explain as we go through the game, so if there's any hints I think could be useful. So, and I'm sort of going to adopt the strategy of how I go about this game. So, whether of how I explore and how I go about exploring. So there's a lot of options in this game, and your options quite literally define how the story takes place. The characters. We, as the main character, get to have two companions at any one time traveling with us, which you will get to understand. There are lots of side quests that are very orientated around certain characters. There's some which are general side quests. There's some, from what I understand, some very, very, not sure what the right word is, but, the side missions are very much orientated around as much around the world that the game is set in, as well as the characters, all blended all quite nicely in. So I've turned the HDR off, so because there is actually an option you can do it, but I've disabled it on the console and the game, so the picture should be absolutely fine. So that could get interesting. So yeah, be quite interesting. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I play games for the story. There really are, and I've done the same in my playthrough that I'm doing, and there's a lot of stuff to get used to in this type of game mechanics. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's you just choose it. A lot of things you just do whatever level you think you'll enjoy. Some do it for the extreme difficulty, others like myself do it for the story, some are in between. So yes, we'll overwrite that. So instead we're going to be doing, I do these things for the story because I love, this is a big game for story, this really is. So yeah, let's get started with GreedFall. There's actually some really, really good features in this game, which I'll explain soon. There's just a certain way this game starts, so Oh god, yeah, I've got
Could you stand a little taller, just a tad?
Like this?
Yes, yes. The chin a tiny bit lower. Gaze a little more to the right. There! Now, hold the pose.
yes. The first, well, this is you can't, as far as I'm personally aware, you can't change the appearance of a character after you set it, so be mindful of that. Now, in most games I know of, unless it's a fixed, a set way, the protagonist is usually a male, in my experience these games. Unless, of course, it's a fixed one where it's a female, then hey. So I did the same. I'm going to do the same thing I did in AC Odyssey, and that is I'm going to be choosing a female browse. Something a little bit different, shake things up a little bit. Now this preset's got all sorts of different options. We can choose if you want. I'm going to organize this one here. Can we? Oh, good, yes. Have to bear with me a second. Now. That looks a bit. I love how they've got some more presets to this of all like the eyebrows look like they're about to glare at you. That's just the impression I get. It's like, okay, easy, easy. Oh dear. Looks a bit terrified. I'm trying to go with something that's a bit feminine, but also has also very like almost professional etiquette, if that makes any sense. Very proper, that's probably the best way of saying it. So yeah, I reckon that would do quite well. Hair, oh god, now I'll get this anywhere near. Oh, by the way, this is not anything specific to how ideal for me personally. I'm just sort of thinking of just, what might fit. Okay, no offense to the boldness, but let's try and keep it a little, I suppose, almost generic. What should we do? Could go with the old hairstyle. We could go with this. Oh. You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll do this. Do that hair. Eyebrows are going to terrify us. Oh god, okay. That's looking angry. That's an angry eyebrow. Angry eyebrow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh dear, no, no, no angry eyebrows. Don't need angry eyebrows. That looks okay. That looks about as least angry as possible. So I think we'll do that. Oh dear. Let's go not too pale. I'd say a little in between, yeah. Hair color. Now, the last, not exactly a blonde. In the other one, in my first playthrough, I decided to go with a ginger one, and because you look with most of these characters, you either see they're either a white, or they're a blonde, or a black, or a grey, or a dark brown. You never see a green or a blue, unless it's some character interact with in the game, or, there's some dark red or purple. I mean, you just don't get that choice half the time. So, we're going to go with well, I'd say that's as close to ginger as we're going to get in this game. Ginger, red. Eye color, oh god. Now, do I go with blue, or do I go with, is that green or a dark blue? Light blue. Ooh, let's see. It looks almost hazel to me, personally. You know what, let's just go with that. Let's go with that. Yes, now these are very important. So, this cast, this is the way that it'll work out for you. So, in my other playthrough, because I wasn't really sure what type of style I was going to use, because with technical, you're more traps, so you're very much like a strategist on the battlefield. You gotta plan your attacks. You've got your, your firearms, maybe a blade if you need it to help defend yourself. But more like you're trying to strategize on the battlefield about setting traps, lure your opponent in, sort of thing. Magic, you know, okay, you got your heavy weapons, which is when you really need to shove your opponent away, but other than that, it's really reliant on the magic side of things, so... which is, as much as I like that, as much as I shouldn't say like, admire it, I've always been more the combat, one-on-one style of things, so you got your heavy weapons, your blades, and your firearms, very... I suppose it is to an extent generic, I suppose, but just it's something I'm accustomed to in these games. So I'll be using the same thing, warrior, in this one. So this one was strength, endurance, craftsmanship, vigor. So now there's a reason why they say the craftsmanship, vigor, but that's more specific for if you wanted to. I wouldn't say because each of those things have a unique they represent a uniqueness for different reasons, which I'll explain. Attributes, yes, strength and endurance are actually quite important, but as we go further on into the game, I'm going to be actually focusing more on agility, which is an attribute, and I'll explain why as the game goes on. With the talents, vigor is important towards the end of the game, but there's a few other things that are far more important, and I'll explain why. But actually, when I first got through this, I actually completely forgot to try and remember these. So this is strength and endurance, craftsmanship and vigor. This is not critically important that you remember, but it's nice to keep them in the back of your mind if you can remember. So we'll choose warrior. Now the strength. So we get an attribute point spins straight up. Now, basically, as much as this, it is as it reads that you basically need endurance to wear heavier armor. So that's not totally as much a necessity, believe it or not, because you might be thinking, oh yeah, you'd be great, we wear really heavy armor. Problem there. Something I should warn you, and bear this in mind for the rest of the game. You have to balance this out. You'll only get... See, as the next point is at level 4. You'll only get them incrementally at certain levels. You won't be getting an additional point every time you level up. So you've got to be very strategic around where you allocate your points. So, because... it's not a bad idea to allocate a point to endurance, and probably as well to accuracy, because it allows you to wield more powerful firearms. Very, very important at times. But, hence the word but, especially if you're doing warrior. I don't know anything about the technical side stuff or the magic. Excuse me, but when it comes to wielding better weapons, especially your swords and your heavy blunt weapons and all that sort of stuff, or just heavier two-handed, one-handed, all that sort of stuff, you'll need to combine your strength and agility skills. And usually from what I understand, it's more... So if you were to say it'd be 1 strength and 2 agility, for example, or 2 strength, 3 agility, or 2 strength, 4 agility, if you know what I mean. So bear that in mind if you'd like to wield really good swords and whatever you like. You'll need to be focusing on these, but maybe take one in firearms if you like. So it all depends. What we're going to start off with is not agility, but actually endurance, because it's nice to have the extra balance. Gets a bit of extra life points, a bit of extra health, helps up balance. Maybe wear some heavier armor to start with, so a nice, good way to start things off. Excuse me. So now it did say, how it had all, craftsmanship and vigor, right? Craftsmanship is to a degree a really good thing to have, but I can tell you from what because when I started the playthrough, there's two things that I'd say there's two things that at the beginning of the game, as far as when you interact with the characters in the world, something that is nice to have is lockpicking and vigor, sure. But if you're really concerned about focusing on the interactions in the game, I highly, highly recommend that you take charisma or intuition. Most prominently, charisma. There's a lot of dialogue, and charisma and having intuition can help influence some of the decisions you make. You know, they can open up other options, other dialogue options, and maybe help, influence the way of a conversation or win an argument or stuff like that, So they can be really quite important. Vigor helps us around the world in certain areas, which we'll most likely find out. Science can be helpful in various ways depending on what you do. So, if you want to do if you want to do some things, I believe there's an investigative side of things in the game, and that can be quite useful for that. But we'll see. But having said that, I'm gonna do a lockpicking, and you're probably thinking, hang on, you just said charisma and intuition were really quite good. Yes, but there are chests in the game. And I'm sorry, but I'm one of these people who I get so frustrated when you have a level 1 or level 2 lockpicking chest that you cannot lockpick. It drives me crazy. It really does. So, now, I should actually point out something that, for those of you who pre-ordered the game, and let's say you've installed the game and whatever, but you haven't started because you've just been busy playing other games or you haven't found the time, fantastic. Or for those of you who didn't pre-order it but you just did, you just got the game when it came out. For those of you who pre-ordered it, I don't know whether the stuff was available in the PlayStation Store or not. I'm not 100% sure. You'd have to check that for yourselves. I really don't know. I pre-ordered the game, and I got... There was a sword. I can't remember if it was a firearm. I know we definitely got a sword. At least one piece of equipment / clothing. And I think it was either a firearm. Yes, no, it was a firearm, a sword, and I believe at least one piece of clothing / equipment, if not two, that came with pre-order. Which was that, and one of those, as I understand, actually helps out with, I think it was intuition, if I recall correctly. So they can actually be really quite useful at times. So, which I'll explain. There's a process that goes through there. But anyway, we'll start. We'll get lockpicking. That really is quite useful at times. So let's start the game. Yes, I want to create this character.
Just a few more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face. That's a compliment, my lady, out of my mouth.
I should hope so.
Your particularity gives you character.
You're still here?
We have nearly finished. Have you any more need of me, Master?
You haven't forgotten that we're setting sail today, have you?
Of course not.
Your cousin is nowhere to be found. I've searched the palace from cellars to attics. Your uncle is beside himself.
Oh, God.
He was of a mind to paint the town last night. Don't worry. I shall track him down. Make care to your own preparations without wrinkling another frown. We'll meet you on the boat.
It's about time your cousin took account of the responsibilities awaiting him. He should go and inform the ambassadors of Telemi and the Bridge Alliance of his departure.
Have no fear, Master. I will go and see them in his name.
Well, since he's probably too drunk and sobering up, we might as well do it for him.
I beg your pardon, but urgent matters call me away. Might we finish all this later?
Impossible, my lady. You are leaving with the tide, if what I've been told is correct.
I am sorry, sir, truly. I must be going.
My lady, please, I beg you. Her Highness has personally requested I finish this.
Thank you, cousin, for getting me out of that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I must admit, if someone told me I had to sit somewhere for about 6 hours or trying to paint a portrait of me, I'd be excessively bored. Seriously, I'd be bored out of my mind, sitting in one position, slightly tilting my head or my arm, possibly a couple of centimeters every bloody half an hour. God, that would drive me mad. So, you may or may not have noticed that there was a bunch of items that showed up, little things on the right hand side of the screen. They were items that came through as part of the pre-order. So, as you can see, those are types of things for the main and side quests. So can we access that? Oh, we can already. Oh, fantastic. I wasn't sure if we could access it early on, so excuse me. So at the top you've got a little bar, so name's Desade. You'll probably notice during the game a couple of different accents. One I do believe is one version of a British accent. Whether that's intentional or whether that's just because of the voice actors that the developers brought in for this game, I actually have no idea. If someone actually knows why there's more of a British vocal influence, you know, why the British accent is more prominent in this game, which you'll recognize it enough. If someone knows why that's the case with this game, let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious about that. Is that intentional, or is that just because of the voice actors brought in? Really have no idea. So these we should have got. Yeah, here we are. So this is part of the clothing suit they got when the pre-order. So if you didn't get the pre-orders, did we? Oh, we didn't get that yet. Oh, strange. No, we got that afterwards. So I think we'll take this because it's loot chance. So basically, when you go through chests or if you're looting parts of the environment that you can take stuff from, basically increases what you can get. Obviously, just saying. So as I was saying, next to the term for Desade, there is a little thing in the top, almost top center. You'll probably see. The one on the far left of that little box thing, or little caps spot, is the coins, so currency, and on the right hand is the current weight, how much we can carry. We've got 200 capable. You can increase that if you're wearing, if you either equip, so with these, I might actually explain what now since we've got these up. The torso, there's a lot of torsos you can find or buy that you can actually upgrade. Now, you can actually attach, I suppose you call it a pouch, I suppose, which will increase and give you maybe a pouch for science, a pouch for, was it lockpicking, I think, and the other one was for vigor. If you attach a pocket for vigor, right, you can't have more than one pocket, just one, so you know. It'll actually increase it by 100. So, you know, if you have, say, 1 point in vigor plus a torso one with an additional vigor, you basically increase it by, I do believe, 200. So, excuse me, essentially I have a maximum carrying weight of 400. So, which is always quite useful. There's a lot of things you can collect in this game. Ah, yes, the good old craftsmanship. Might as well equip these. We're going to need these anyway. Ah, yes. Oh, here it is. So, got your rifles, which still falls under firearms, but this type of firearm, but you know. The particulars. So, this would be, if you didn't get the pre-order, this would just be the regular pistol that you get with. We'll just equip this here. And you got, oh, I forgot we had that. Oh, that's with the... Oh, that's the B. So, armor damage is quite important at times. We're the only character can have 2 types of melee weapons. So, and a lot of people... Now, it depends on playstyle. If I don't know whether this is specific to Warrior or whether that's for all 3. I have no idea. I really don't, because I've never done the technical or magic, so I really don't know. But for Warrior, you can go all out armor or all out physical damage if you want. However, I would recommend that you focus 1 slot for, say, maxed out with the best possible armor damage, and 1 for the best possible physical damage. So you can alternate, you know. And we'll get to the point which we'll probably go through the tutorials again, just so you can for yourself see. So we're going to go with the Alchemist Rapier. I believe that's how it's pronounced. So, select this. There's a fair bit more. It's not as good for armor damage, but frankly, because that other slot's got an better armor damage, I really just do not care. I'm serious. So... It's I tell you what, I love the details and everything that are in this place. I really do. You know, the graphics look absolutely amazing for this game. You know, they did such a good job on that. They really did. Do we have to go into any rooms? No. Let's head downstairs.
Hey! Green blood!
Kurt,
And so the day has finally come. My royal fledglings are leaving the nest.
accompanied by their most loyal and tenacious master of arms.
As loyal as your gold.
Enough with the cold mercenary. I know you like us. Still hiding your men in the unsuspecting shadows of the greats of this world, I see.
Hey, our blades are the only thing keeping you dainties alive.
Kurt, I'm not in need of your protection. I'm no longer a child, you know.
Is that so? Well, let's see. Fight with honor!
Okay. I'll just... Okay. Can I parry? Damn it! Ooh. God, parries have to be so perfectly timed, I'll tell you that much. Ah, oh, jeez, come on. Ah, oh, damn it. Ah, yes, that's right. Yes. Alright, let's switch to health potions and bind that to... My favourite slot for finding health potions is just always the bottom one. Always that. It's just nice and easy for the thumb, you know, just... Oh, there it is. Oh, good. You know, it's almost instinctual, you know, it's like, oh, yep. Okay. Whoa. Let's just, oh yes, okay. Damn it! Oh no, you do not. Oh crap! No!
What a green blood. Me who thought myself a competent weapons master.
It's becoming a little hard to believe.
Don't add insult to injury. This is humiliating enough. We'll need to get you through the basics, or you risk getting your feathers plucked at the first sign of trouble.
That could definitely come in handy.
In that case, Otto here is going to be your training partner. Go!
In my
Fight with
defense,
honor.
I was trying to parry. I really was. Ah, yes, the good old firearms. Oh, right, gotta bind them, do we? Okay. Let me have a look. Firearms, let's bind. What will I... Right, now for the firearms can be quite useful in this game. So I think I'll bind them again to another thumb, so I'll do it for X.
Come on, if you're dead.
So there you go. So those little shields represent the armor. So that's as far as what I was saying about it's nice. It good, especially the warrior, to have one weapon specific for armor, one weapon specific for physical damage. So you can use your weapon that is specifically allocated for armor to take care of the armor first, and then physical damage afterwards. Because if you don't get rid of the armor for a soldier, you're not going to be able to hurt them that easily, are you? Simple, you know? Oh no, you do not.
Come on, let's see what you're capable of.
What do you think I'm doing? Come on.
Come on, let's see what you're capable of.
Alright.
Come on, let's see what you're capable of.
Okay, good. Oh. So that's the Fury Bar, I'll explain that to you. So when that builds up to a certain amount, excuse me, you'll be able to, which on the PS4 control says L2. You can use that to unlock a Fury attack. To be successful with your Fury attacks, you need to be within a certain proximity to your opponent to use them, otherwise you're just wasting a Fury attack. So, just so you're aware. Oh, that was... I didn't realize it wasted that already.
Come on, if you're there.
There we go. Oh, no you don't. Oh, hold. Yep, we'll shoot weapon, I think.
It appears we've brushed up on the basics.
Yep.
It does. And I'd like to be on my way. I've quite the list of things to do before we depart.
Indeed. Remember that you can always train in our barracks on the island if you're feeling rusty.
Thank
Are
you.
your bags packed for the great departure?
Yes, you know I get by with very little. You're not angry that I'm coming with you, I hope.
Oh, hell no. No, we're very, very pleased you're coming along, Kurt. Absolutely.
On the contrary, I am thrilled that both you and Sir de Corsillon are joining our party. A few friends at your side in unknown territory is a boon.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me the old school teacher is competing against me. By the way, where is our future governor hiding? I was hoping to put his skills to the test as well.
Well...
No idea. He had plans to celebrate his departure last night, and we haven't seen him since. You know Constantine. I should have gone with him, but my heart wasn't in the mood for a celebration. The thought of bidding my mother farewell.
It is never easy to say goodbye. But you should be going to see her now. She must be waiting for you. I'll meet you in front of the palace. Then we'll go and find Constantine together.
Very well. I'll meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
You probably picked up on a bit of a British accent there, so, yeah. Let me have a... just bear with me a second here. No, that's alright. So, oh, actually, while we're here, I might as well explain these to you. So, this is the skill menu can attribute, oh, God. Allocate. God. So, oh yeah, I actually just discovered some stuff for this, I'll show you. If you want to zoom in, use the right analog stick, so it's nice and easy to get over them. So, that's actually quite useful at times, I feel. Especially, instead of just going very, very, you know, I remember the first time I got to a new level and I had to try and I was trying to allocate a skill, and I was literally doing minute little flicks with the analog stick, like, just get over the bloody thing. It took me... I swear it took me over 10 hours to work out, you know, it was like I was about level 7, I think, And I was just sort of flicking around through it. I'm just saying, oh, what's this gonna do? And suddenly I just pushed it upwards. I'm like, whoa, I can zoom in. I didn't even know it, so I was really excited about that. So you've got these, obviously, which correspond. So because we have one of our pieces of clothing equipment is has a what's the best word to use? I suppose an attribute of our equipment is craftsmanship, so that gets added on. So I think that's a little plus sign. I could be wrong under it. You'll see a little yellow thing if you look close enough at the screen under the craftsmanship sign. So that basically means that ability is available to you, even though we haven't spent a point on it. So just so that you're aware. These you can view your relationships and your skills and all that sort of stuff. And if you want to look at the numbers of how much damage, its resistance, that's what you can see on the right hand side for your currently equipped weapons. This is the map. It can get a little confusing, this map at times, but if you ever manage to memorize stuff, yeah, it's not always that bad. So there you got your missions, side quests. The missions are not the same as side quests; they're a totally different thing. I know that seems a bit obvious, but yeah, when we find them, you'll understand where there's a big difference. So, and this is our gigantic, well, I shouldn't say gigantic, very large map of TFD. So, now you might be thinking when you see this that, oh wow, so we're going all over. No, when I say from what I've played, you know, we're more set, not set, what's the best word? Yeah, we're more settled, I should say, around the bottom half, you know. So, as far as I'm aware, you don't go to the top. You just more settle on the south side, so which is still a very, very large area. So, that's interesting. And you got your good old codex and your glossary and all that sort of stuff. So, excuse me, but that's all for another time. So, we've got our good old historic doctors. Ah, yes. The ones that you never knew whether they were actually pulling a straight face to you or whether they were kidding around. You had to trust them with those masks on. Although I don't blame them because I didn't want to actually get sick and breathe in any illnesses. Although if it's airborne and all that, there's not much they can do about it, let's face it. Oh yes, actually that gives me a really good time to explain something. A really good feature, there's an autosave feature in this game, which is fantastic. It saves periodically, but you can also save as long as you're not, you know, in through a cutscene or whatever. But if you're on a mission, as far as I'm aware, or just in general going around the world, you can stop somewhere and you can save it on the spot. That is something I love. Especially when it comes to open world RPG games, when you can save at the spot where you're standing. Like let's say for example I'm right here, right? I could save this game, exit it, and come back in. I'd be right here, or at least in this general little. If you drew a little circle around the character, you'd be in that vicinity. You would come back, and that is absolutely fantastic. I love that about this game. So, just a little heads up in case you were wondering.
What is this? Have you not been taught to knock? I've asked 1,000 times. Oh, it's you, my dear child.
Ah, gripped by illness.
Mother, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition. Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice.
Sure you are.
You remind me so much of your father. I do miss him so. Today is the big day, isn't it? ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about. Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill. Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering. One thing brings me
sad.
cheer. They say the island is full of miracles, and we might find a cure. Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to... I know. But it brings me comfort to know my daughter has left on a mission to heal her people.
I'm sure it would.
Come now. It is time for you to take leave. Here. Take this with you.
An heirloom?
What is it? A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck. All my blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
I always thought it was a gift. It's actually an heirloom. There you go. Well, it's either going to be that or an heirloom. Well, but an heirloom is a gift, actually, isn't it? The poor sight, isn't it? Ah, the Discoverer's hat. There it is. Others present. Yes, we'll work that out just a second. Use felt hat. Ah, that I thought I knew we were missing something somewhere. So this is the intuition, so this is quite useful at the... Well, actually, this and as soon as we can, we'll get a point in charisma. Charisma and intuition in this game are so... Especially charisma. From what I play in this game, charisma can settle so many conversations in this game. It's not even funny. It's incredible, you know. You know, get as much, get as high in charisma as you can. The intuition is not as much an emergency, but after that, I'd suggest, depending on how high up you go, there's a few ways to level up in this game. After that, probably go for Digger, maybe the intuition.
Kurt,
Yeah.
it's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You were right. Maybe he is already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be quite the chore to finish before our departure. The commander wants to recover some merchandise from our supplier.
Of
But
course.
the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Sure
Of
thing.
course. Where is the supplier located?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then. We'll put it on our list of visits.
So it's the first person to add to the team. Okay. Bishop, the vendor. Before you go
Where
anywhere
would you like
else.
to begin?
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of Ptolemy and the Bridge Alliance before our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. Do you think Constantine will be waiting for us next to the ship?
I don't know, but it is certainly worthy of inspection.
Good point. So let's go to the map for do anything else. Now I am the type with the OCD of mine is I literally, if there's a map to explore, I explore everywhere. I literally, I just revealed the whole Fog of War and everywhere I'm able to, like literally, no kidding. So what I'll be doing this game is for look, unless we're just going around any area of missions, which I'll probably then go and investigate. Otherwise, I'll do stuff off screen. I'll just uncover the areas, and there are save points. So, but if they don't get explained at some point, I'll explain that for you lot, so that it becomes a bit more obvious. So that, but I won't do any. I won't find and collect stuff, especially if it has some sort of significance. You know, I'll discover it, but I won't access or collect it. You know, I'll do that with you lot, just so you understand where these things are located. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through here. There's actually quite a lot of stuff you can collect around these places, so that crafting this game actually is quite good and quite useful as well. There are some prerequisites you need.
To my help.
Alright.
To the others.
Oh, that's not the right weapon I wanted. Oh, that was good. First, fight out the way. Yes, 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 I know. Stuff in the inventory. Thank you for telling me. Now, now, from what I do understand about this game, the higher the difficulty, the less, or at least, because a lot of times, you know, difficulty will influence how much something you can collect and how often or how rare stuff is. That is also the case in this game, I do believe. So, so I'm just keeping a lookout for crates we can access or whatever. Was there anything? Excuse me. There is one thing I have found in this game. You cannot sprint if you're overburdened, which makes a lot of sense, but there are certain things you can do in this game, even when you're overburdened, that in other games you're restricted from, which I find is actually quite a good thing. Can we go down? Oh, we can. I think a lot of people forget to go down that other path, you know. Anything you can collect around here? Nope. Alright, I'll tell you what. I think it's as good as well as any. We'll take a break here. We come back, we'll be continue exploring and yeah, go and talk to some people. One of those ambassadors or whatever. So, I'll catch you next time.